Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I have Dale's RV to make from the Walking Dead board game All Out War from Mantic Games. You may have already noticed that this is a wooden kit. They're not as detailed or as accurate as a plastic kit, but we'll see how it goes. There's not a lot included here. There's a little poster and some information on the back regarding the game. Plus there's also a preview of how the kit should look once completed. On the reverse of these sheets we have the assembly instructions. Then we have the wooden sheet and a cardboard sheet which have both been pre-cut and ready to punch out. Each piece is held in by a tiny tab. Some of these can be broken by simply pushing them out, while others will need the use of a hobby knife. The tab will then need sanding smooth, and I use my tiny file to do that. Then it's just a matter of following the instructions and beginning the assembly. White glue is best for gluing wood. Wood glue is preferable, but PVA glue will also work. It just takes a little bit longer to dry. I use an old brush to get rid of the excess glue, and this will basically remove any large clumps. As you can see, I've already assembled the basic frame, so now I can go ahead and put on the sides. Unfortunately I put the left side on the right side and the right side on the left, but that's not a big problem and I'll fix that later. Next goes on the axles underneath, and now we move on to the cardboard parts. This is essential as you can bend it and form curves. Plus it's also very thin and can cover up any blemishes, as well as unsightly joined. I cut out the front and back sections, and then I score them across the middle so that I can give them a bend. Then I just add a little bit of glue and slot them into place. And you can see both front and back sections have gone on. And that's followed by the roof section, which covers the whole top, front and back. This was cut unfortunately a couple of millimetres too short, which means I have to leave a little gap at one end. And now for the side pieces. As you can see, one side has all the detail on, while the other is very basic. Since I need to match the window with my earlier mistake, I have to use the basic side, but that's not the end of the world. Next to go on are the wing mirrors. This is a little bit tricky as they are so small and they're nothing to grip onto. On the roof there are several vents, one large and two small. They take no time to go on, but I do need to make sure they are in alignment before the glue sets. Next up is the bumper at the front, and then after that is the roof rack, and I had to keep realigning this until the glue hardened enough to hold them into place, because after all they're only 4 thin pieces of cardboard. I also added some glue on the corners for some extra reinforcement. And next up is the wheels, and this comprises of 4 parts. We have 2 identical base plates, followed by an outer rim, followed by the actual trim itself. And I found it was easier to add these one at a time rather than pre-build it and then put it on. It's just a matter of taking your time and getting the alignment right. And the last thing to do is the awning. And the first piece to go on is the support bar, then wait for that to set. And then put on the arms and wait for them to set as well. And then finally the awning can go on. And providing you align up the tabs, it will fit perfectly. And that's a completed RV. The next step is painting. You have to be careful when painting card, as it can easily warp. So it's best to apply a few light layers and build it up. Then it should look something like this. And the first thing I do is apply some ink wash on the vents, and this should help all the little lines stand out. Then I move on to the awning. I painted this with a watered down yellow, and I purposely added some streaks to make it look old. And then I moved on to all the black pieces, such as the wheels, window trims, rear view mirrors, etc. onto the headlights, brake lights and indicators. Then I used a medium grey for the roof rack and the structure of the awning. And that's the basic paint job finished. And because it's a wooden kit, it's never going to be 100% accurate, as it will always be a little bit blocky. The interior is mostly unpainted. I would have liked to have put some plastic in for the glass, but with how the kit is assembled, it doesn't really accommodate for it. I mixed up a wash of brown and yellow, and I used this to cover the whole surface and age it up a bit. And then I added a variety of weathering powders, and this will make some dark areas lighter and some light areas darker, and should help represent the dirt and grime that have built up over the years, because this exists in a post-apocalyptic world where there are no more car washers. And now I just need to lock everything in with a matte sealer, and this is done. It is a shame that I couldn't paint the interior or add some windows, but then again, for tabletop gaming it's not always essential. But I do have some other accessories from Mantic Games, which I'll get out shortly. The main benefit to a laser cut wooden kit is that they are very quick and cheap to produce. But the obvious trade-off is that they can be very blocky and not as hard wearing, because when it comes to painting, the wood and the paper can easily warp if you're not careful. I have some accessories for this game which I've already painted up on another video, and they can go in the roof rack, while the zombie can go on the ground looking for victims. I will leave a link for these videos so you can check them out. So overall, I think this RV is a good addition to this universe, and it has a nice centrepiece when escaping from The Walking Dead. Thank you for watching. Don't forget, if I can do it, so can you.